Okay, for this assignment, Skittles wrapper. For this assignment, you are going to, sorry, I got distracted. So for this assignment, first you're going to go through all of our steps that we have learned. Our very first step when we see a story problem is to read the story problem. Students in Miss Allen's math class are divided into teams. Each team collects points by doing projects and playing math games. Team A has 1,347 points. Team B has 1,295 points. Which team has more points? So now that we read it, we have to ask ourselves another question. This question is, what is this problem about? So what is this problem about? It's about teams in a class that collect points. So now that we know what the story problem is about, that it's about teams that collect points in a class, now what do I need to find? We need to find the question. What question is being asked? The question being asked is, which team has more points? So now that I know my question, I have to figure out what is the question asking me to do. Well, because it just says which team has more points, we are just going to compare. We know that if it's asking us which has more, it means that we're going to compare points. So now I'm going to reread the story. What am I looking for when I reread? Important information. Okay, well, what is the important information? The important information is that Team A has this many points and Team B has this many points. And then we're going to keep it organized. And if you look, the people have already organized it for us, but we are going to organize it a different way. We are going to organize it with a hundreds, thousands place value chart. Okay. Now you could use any of these. You could use the base 10 method where you draw out each of these. I know that I know that Joni likes to do that. You could use a number line, index cards, but what I'm going to model here is our place value chart. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw our lines this way, and we have to make them large enough to fit both of these amounts on there because that's how we're going to compare. And draw a line at the top. Then we're going to start all the way to the right because we always want to start with our lowest place value. Ones, what comes next? Tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. Do I need to go higher? No, I don't need to go higher because each of these place values stops in the thousands. So I'm going to draw a line here, and I'm going to label over here because I have this extra room. So I have Team A and Team B. Okay. Then I'm going to write my number on the place value chart next to the team that it belongs to. I'm going to start in my ones place value because if I just start writing the number, I'm going to be off. So we're going to start in the ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. Thousands is where the comma goes. Let's practice that. Thousands is where the comma goes. Now Team B, we're going to start in the ones again. Oh, not 9. See, we got to pay attention, huh? 5, tens, hundreds, thousands. So now that we've done this work, now we're going to compare them. So we're going to start with our largest place value, not the smallest. Okay, because sometimes a number could have more ones than another number, but less thousands. So we have to start with our biggest place value, which today is our thousands place. Well, Team A and Team B both have 1,000, so we're going to move on to the next one. Hundreds place. Team A has 300s, Team B has 200s. You know what? We can stop there because 3 is larger than 2. So that means that Team A has more points than Team B. So Team A is the winner. And we would write Team A has more points. Okay. Now we're going to use this information to complete the questions on the back on page 18. Well, I should have told you that page number. Sorry. This page number was page 17. And this page is page 18. So look back. Which team has more points? And which place value shows that the team has more points? So we already have the answer. We know that Team A has more points. But I want you to answer this next one. Which place value shows that Team A has more points? You're going to have to go back and look at the other one. It is the hundreds place value. Okay. Now we're going to look ahead, I guess. And it says you can use place value to compare numbers. You always start with the greatest place value position. I'm going to underline and highlight that. It is so important. You have to start with the biggest place number position. Sometimes numbers you compare have the same number of digits. Sometimes they have a different number of digits. So for A, you're going to circle the box with the greatest number of staples. So which one has more? 1,250 or 1,500? Okay, now what place value helps you tell which box has more staples? Well, first, this box has more staples, and the place value is the hundreds. And explain it. So explain how you know that the place value in the hundreds, the digit in the hundreds, tells us which one has more staples. The hundreds place tells us because the thousands are the same. So then you move to the hundreds, and 500 is larger than 200. For C, circle the greater price, 1,402 or 985. 1,402 is greater. And which place value helps you know? The thousands. Okay, because the second place value only has hundreds. It doesn't have any thousands. So which one was easier to compare? And this is just your answer. I know what my answer would be, but I want you to write that there. Okay, page 19 and 20 are your follow-up pages. And it's technically homework. So I'll write it on your homework page also.